I think about the holidays, I just think back to all the good times we had, the highs and lows, everything in between. Maybe reminisce a little bit, you know. Check it out. Yeah, I heard Christmas in the track. I mean, I think it's pretty obviously the bells and whatnot sound really Christmassy, but I thought I was going to have a problem writing a Christmas song in the traditional sense because I don't necessarily get, you know, all these gushy feelings when I think about Christmas. So that was kind of the big challenge, I think, for me. Well, we pretty much did the Christmas song because Transmute wanted to. He actually sent me a beat last year around sometime around Thanksgiving, I think, and said, "Hey, let's do a Christmas song," as if, you know, it was just going to come off without a hitch, and we didn't have other stuff going on to plan for and things like that. So it ended up being that this year it was a little earlier, and I started thinking about it, and I thought, you know, it would be really cool to do a Christmas song, but I want to do one on my own terms and figure out what I feel like Christmas is and how I would, you know, look at the different ways that I would interpret that. So, yeah, that's what it ended up being. As I started thinking about my feelings on Christmas and things like that, it became apparent that I couldn't write a song outside of my own personal experiences. So like a song that's idyllic, or, you know, a song that is just really happy sounding. I just couldn't do it. So what I did was take the memories that I had and pick a couple points that really stand out for me and examine those points through the song. Yes, they're all parts of my childhood, parts of my life, people that I think about, which, you know, is really a common theme throughout all the music that I write, because those are the things that are the most important to me. Either people that I've known, people that have influenced me in a positive way, people that have influenced me in a negative way. I think it all comes out in the songs that I do as a whole. And then, you know, you throw in a couple songs where you're just having fun with either style or things like that. Shoes. Okay, so shoes, I think for anybody, I don't know about anybody else, but anybody that grew up in the projects or in the hood, there were really only 2 times of the year that you got shoes. That was the first, like at the beginning of school and at Christmas. And other than that, if your shoes ran out too soon, you were pretty much stuck. Or you know, sometimes you might get your Christmas shoes early or something like that. But and I think for me, shoes have a particular significance because I realized historically shoes were very important in the African American community. So there's a big there's a really personal meaning and personal reasons behind using shoes as a central theme in the track. And then there's like the bigger overarching African Americans as a whole connection with shoes. Troops were a brand. I think they were put out by British Knights that everybody wanted them. Pretty sure LL Cool J was promoting the shoe, and it was this whole big deal. New shoe brand, cool, made cool by LL and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, this rumor starts flying around that troops are made by the Klan. Like the Ku Klux Klan is tricking black people into buying shoes to support the Klan, which, you know, now it sounds absurd, but at the time people were really like, oh, yeah, and and the rumor kept going that there was a inside the shoe, it would say, "We thank you, N-words, for buying our shoes," or inside the jackets there were like racist comments and things like that. So people were taking this really seriously. They would like open up the jackets with a knife, cut the lining out of the shoe. I mean, this was like a big deal because everybody had them. They were like, that was the brand of the moment at the time, and so everybody's tearing their shoes apart. And I'm thinking, I don't get another pair of shoes until Christmas. I'm wearing mine. These are my shoes for right now. I don't care. I already paid for them, so if I'm supporting the Klan, they already got my money. I'm gonna keep the shoes and wear them and rock them till the wheels fall off. I'm not going to speak for anyone else, but for me, I had a lot of mother figures outside of my mom, who was there a lot of times, but there were times where I was living with my dad. So, whoever his girlfriend was, they would, play a nurturing role, and through social networking, even though I live way out here in Wyoming and I'm from Kentucky, I can still get a hold of people, and I've gotten a hold of some of them through that avenue. And so I thought it was really important to, especially in a Christmas song where you're talking about things that you're thankful for, and what the real meaning of Christmas should be. When you're thinking about those things, I felt that it was important, if I was going to write a Christmas song, to include those people and at least mention them, if not by name, by sentiment. And those people know who they are. I've called them mom. They know. A couple of them aren't living anymore, but they're still as important. But I thought that it was really important to make sure those people, I paid those people their proper respect and put in perspective their impact on my life. I guess you could say that. I mentioned a couple musical people like Jodeci, and there's a reference to Nirvana. Um, you know, there's two reasons I did that in the context of this song. One, because it's true, I was listening to that at the time, and they were like the big musical influences for me in that time period. And then it also lets you know, without actually saying, hey, this is 19 whatever, it also lets you know what year it was, because you can look that stuff up when Jodeci and all that was number one, when Kurt died. Because those, especially like the Kurt Cobain thing, that was a really, I don't know, man. It's a really traumatic event for me personally, because I really connected with his music, with his struggle, with the things he was going through, and I felt like he was a great writer. He always wrote in a way that could be interpreted more than one way, which I use that technique a lot in my own writing. So when you talk about being thankful, I think given again proper respect to the people that have influenced you is in a positive way and gotten you to this point, I think is really important. So yeah, there's a couple shout outs in there. The other voices is my mom and one of my sisters. I wanted to get everybody in the song, but my brother is overseas in the Navy, so I couldn't get a hold of him, and I couldn't get a hold of my other sister. So and we had a deadline for the song. Otherwise, I would have put them in there. And maybe we'll redo the song for next year, do something different, and I'll be able to include them. But it was just my mother and my sister, and I just called them up and said, hey, what do you think about this? Do you remember this time? Do you remember that? And just let them run with their memories and share something pure, a pure form of their thoughts on that time. And it just turned out really well. Actually, as I'm filming this, they don't even know that I recorded it. So it'll be interesting to get their reaction and see what they think once they hear themselves on this track and remember us having that conversation and thinking, oh, you recorded that, huh? Yeah, now I'm going to be paranoid. Everybody and their mother makes a Christmas album, right? And I just cannot artistically say something that I don't believe in. And it's not that I don't wish that I'd had those, you know, overly joyous, happy track type life, but I didn't. You know, it's kind of like in the beginning of the song I say, simple. That's how my life used to be. It's really kind of a sarcastic thing, because it was kind of simple in the sense that we were poor, and so things had to be simple. But in the sense of the complexity of the life that we lived within the projects, and, you know, day to day living, you know, things like that, it's really, you're talking about a really complex topic. So in that sense, I just want people, either people that are in that position, to know that someone else was in that same position and you can move on from that and do bigger and better things, or I want you to just listen, just feel. So I'm not trying to elicit any particular feeling. I just want people to feel me, I guess. So we'll just do this.
It's an animute Christmas. It's an animute Christmas.